Part 8, Bully Story. First, I want to finish part 7. Remember, I talked about Sophia, and I told her to meet me tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Well, what happened that day is the next morning, I had all my collection of Army men, what I've been saving since the first grade up until we could say high school. And I surprised Sophie with all my Army Man collection. And there was a lot of them because I used to buy them out the comic books with my job mowing money, or when I was helping my mama in the beauty parlor, when I was in first grade and elementary, I helped her in the beauty parlor. And also, my mama paid me when I tell her a good dream and she catch a number. My mama paid me. I made a lot of money, you know, telling my dreams to my mama. But I used to buy Army men's things out of the comic book, all kind of pyramid, good luck charm, and the sun, good luck charm, because I worshiped the sun and the pyramid god, even when I was small. Well, I didn't even know who God was. But I always worshiped the pyramid and the sun god. And my mama then would ask me, where do I get that from? And blah, blah, blah. I tell them I don't know. I was just born worshiping the sun and the pyramid god. But anyway, I gave Sophie all my Army men's collection and all my cat eyes marble. The cat eyes marble is the big marble. But I split that with Sophie and a guy named Willie Nettles, who lived across the street from Sophie and on that street. But Sophie, let's jump forward 4 years. When I went to go to college, Sophie say, will I ever see you again? Promise, David, that I'll see you again. I said, what you mean? She say, when you go to college, you just gonna forget about me. And I said, that'll never happen, Sophie. I live right there in front of y'all. This part of me. This street and all y'all, all of us grew up together, all y'all part of me. I ain't never gonna, not come back here. Unfortunately, I came back, but I was too busy to check on Sophie. Or the rest of my friends who I come up there with, not friends, but people who I was raised up with, you know. And forward now, 20 years later, I'm looking at this new thing come out called the WNBA. And my favorite team, who I saw before they came on TV, because it was a bunch of commercials. So I already had my favorite team. So now it's their first game on TV, and I'm looking at my favorite team, and they call out the starter lineup, and it say Sophia Weatherspoon. And I'm like, oh, it can't be. I ain't never seen Sophie play no basketball. I ain't never seen Sophie interested in sports. But remember, I ain't see Sophie. When I last saw Sophie, I think I was probably 18, and Sophie might have been maybe 12. I don't know. She was young. But I couldn't believe it. And I'm watching her play, and like for the first 2 years, every time I see the girl play, I cry. I cry. When did you see somebody you playing Army men with when you was a little kid, and they think you know damn TV, and they at the top of their game? They're at the top of their game. And she went on to retire as a WNBA superstar. But now, back to how can we improve bullying? How can it be improved? Well, I consider myself an expert. First off, we need some kind of database of bullies and their victims. So when they go to the next grade, their new teacher will be able to log online to the new list of bullies and their victims. For when they see them in class together, they know to watch them or either transfer the student who being bullied to another class far away from this guy. That list needs to be available to each teacher in each school, not for all the schools, for the schools where the bully attended. God, that would be a big list. So keep it to the school they in. And to stop this bully thing, you got to catch it early. If you don't catch it before, during elementary, it's only going to get worse for the victim. Because these guys follow you from kindergarten all the way to the 12th grade. That was my experience. And these children nowadays got it bad. Because when I was coming up, it wasn't cell phone, it wasn't no computer. But nowadays, the bully get to follow this kid home. Even in the summertime. Because they stop them online. Or somebody give them their kid phone number. Now, this happened to me one time. And it wasn't cell phone, but it was landline. But somehow the bully got my number. And I just happened to pick up the phone. And he said, Monday, I want $10 or I'm going to tear you apart. Man, I was scared the whole weekend. Each day, it seemed like my world was going to end until I go to that Monday. And I was so scared. I would steal the $10 out of my daddy pants or out of my mama pocketbook when they go to sleep to give that bully that $10 because he said he's going to tear me apart. So imagine about kids nowadays when the bully following them 24 hours a day online, threatening them, telling them they're going to hurt them or embarrass them. But that can be stopped. 3 strikes you out. That way the 3 strike needs to be it. Because if a bully get reported 3 times, somebody need to put their foot down. Kick them out of school after the 3rd time. And let their parent put them in a private school until they learn how to act. And let them have some type of therapy to prove they had therapy before you let them back in private school again. Public school again. 3 strikes you out. Simple. Can you imagine a torment of a child who a bully following them from kindergarten like they did me all the way to the 12th grade? Every kid can't be the doom. You get what I'm saying? I had guidance from the other side. And I beginning to love getting beat up. Because Mr. Rogers told me the more I get beat up, the more I learn how to beat the bully and learn how to fight. He made me turn it into a learning experience, but everybody can't do that. You can't expect no kid to do that. I was different. So let's help these kids. 3 strikes you out. The first time, give the kid counseling. Get them out of school for a week. Give them counseling. Talk with their parents. Second time, bring the parent down in the office with the kid to talk with them. kick them out of school for 2 weeks then. The third time, kick them out of school completely. Let them go to a private school. Don't transfer them to another public school because they're going to do the same goddamn thing again. Put him in a private school or let him get homeschooling until he have paper from a therapist saying he's capable of going to school with other kids. Other than that, that's all we can do for bullying. But we got to stop letting these guys follow these kids from kindergarten to the 12th grade. We got to stop that. Get a bully list. When the teacher log online, they can see all the bullies that are in her class and all the victims. And do that for every grade. That's the only way it's going to be stopped. Because the teacher can watch the bully and they can watch the victims. And there need to be a 1-800 line for that school where a kid can complain about so you're bullying me. In this class, that class, during the lunch period, during the break, during PE, let the 1-800 end bullying in schools. The sooner they get started, the better. But don't let these guys follow the same kids from kindergarten to... It's crazy. In the system we living in today, that's still happening. And children killing themselves. I got to admit, if I were going to school during nowadays, 100%, I know I would kill myself because I won't be able to take it. Because the bully is in your head 7 days a week. He following you online making threats. He calling your cell phone making threats. He texting you making threats. The pressure is overwhelming. And I hear people say, let them fight. They can't hurt each other. They say that about little kids and old people too. But let me tell you, it hurt. It hurt. When you get punched in the eye, no matter if you're in kindergarten, it hurt. When you get hit in the jaw, in the nose, it's hurt. When you get slammed on the ground, it hurt. It's no such thing that let them fight. They too young to hurt each other. No, man, that's wrong. Even with old people, it's hurt. And you scared to death. Your heart beating, even at night, because you know you got to go to school tomorrow into the same old thing again. The bully beating you up, taking your lunch money or candy money, embarrassing you in front of all the kids. And the only way you see out is the same way I saw it. What through death. But the grown-up gonna say, oh, they just kids. They can't hurt each other. You stupid. And that's my session for today. And at the end of the bully series, I hope I've been able to shine some light and maybe help someone and maybe make a bully soften up a little bit. Instead of hurting disabled kids, handicapped kids, and kids who slow learning, how about helping them? This is a cruel world because they prey on the weak, whether they in a wheelchair or whether they blind. They prey on them. And that needs to stop, man. This is America, man. We're supposed to be better than that. Thank you and God bless.